Welcome to Poto Pirate Network. I'm your host, Donnie Pennington. I'm joined with Mr. Hackler, Mr. Ballard, and Carson Cohen. We're bringing you today's high school game day starting at 5 o'clock. Well, guys, we've gotten through this. A lot of great district games, a lot of great football games, collegiate games we've talked about, and now we're to the end. We're now finding out who gets to go to the dance, right? Who's going to make the playoffs? There's a lot of scenarios we're going to talk about today. A lot of great games. Let's get started with the Hilldale versus McLean game. Neither one of them have any type of district implications but there's some pride on the line for um, well, I'm sorry, Hilldale
Yeah, he'll
McLean.
Right.
There is. I'm sorry,
Hilldale has.
I was get
Yes.
down to Stillwell, but Hilldale McLean. There are definitely some district
yeah,
implications.
Especially
Hilldale
for
coming
us.
off a big dub last week, and after we went in and put up 22 on them right off the bat, and then had some injuries, and Hilldale was able to come back and get that game. But this week, Hilldale versus McLean at McLean. Tell us a little bit what you think about that, Mr. Hack.
Well, it's a huge one. I'm a little worried. Obviously for us, it's a really big one, and for Hilldale, obviously, McLean's a big basketball school. They're not gonna make the playoffs, so they're out of the running on football. So that's my worry a little bit. And Hilldale, they've got hope now since they knocked us off. So they're gonna be going in there, and it's win or go home for them, and so I think it should be a good game.
Well, I think with Hilldale, as we talked about last week, it's leave everything out there. It doesn't matter. There's going to be some different plays ran. There's going to be some trick
Right.
stuff ran. There's going to be different types of mindset when you're going out there as coaches and how you're going to call this game because, it's win or go home, and so you got to take some chances. There may be a lot more fourth downs you go on because you got to win,
Right.
So Mr. Ballard.
yeah. It's same thing what Mr. Hackler talked about, and last week is just one of those games. You hate reminiscing, man. I mean, we're up 22 nothing, 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Hilldale has ran 3 offensive plays all the way to the 5 minute mark in the second quarter.
Right.
It's just when Sam goes down with his bell rung, and our kids still fought hard. Little technical difficulties there. My makeup lady over here is telling me what to do. But it was one of those games. Just they scored 32 unanswered points, and it is what it is. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Hilldale has a lot to play for, and then they made some good plays last week. Hats off to them. But I think McLean's in the basketball gym, ready to go, and I don't even think one of their good players that were playing last week is playing this week. So, but it'll be we're definitely going to be watching Squirtle tonight
Right. Definitely.
throughout because we definitely need Hilldale or McLean to beat
And like we
Hilldale.
talked about last week, Hilldale was exactly what we thought. Like
Mhm.
they offensive firepower. I mean, they are tough to stop. So our game plan was working so well
Mhm.
first half, keeping their offense off the field. But just some
Yeah.
bad luck.
What do you think, Carson?
Last week I was watching the game. They got some fast dudes, and their quarterback and free safety number one, he got some size to him,
Yep.
man. Some dudes with some size. They're a little. I mean, like seeing Sammy go down and then the comeback. That was just it's terrible to watch. But yeah, it's
Anything can
that's all
happen
I
on
got.
Friday night, right?
Yeah.
And I think Hilldale matches up well with McLean,
Mhm.
just with the athletes that they have.
Right.
And so keeping the McLean players inside the tackles and not letting them make those big plays. I definitely think Hilldale will be ready for that. So that takes us to game 2 of the night. We've got Ada versus Salisal at Salisal. Another huge game for us as well, but also for both of these guys because there's a couple scenarios where either one of them can end up number one, and so it's a big win.
Right.
This is going to be a really good game, and I feel Salisal definitely is going to be ready, especially at home. So, Mr. Ballard, what do you think about the?
Well, this is going to be a tough one to pick. Sal's very disciplined. Of course, Ada has the athletes, the size, and I think it's going to be a great matchup. Another game we're going to be watching closely because there's a couple scenarios that will potentially come out of this game. But it's we got the toughest district. We talked about it all year, and it's from top to bottom, and anything can happen. But man, Ada they're just stout.
Right.
Again, I'm still kind of shocked on the loss they had, but again, anything can happen on Friday night.
Absolutely. You know, and for both Salisal and Ada, all scenarios. So Salisal, they're either 1 or 3.
Yeah, they're in.
They're in.
Ada's
They
in.
but it's the difference between hosting
Yep.
and getting a
Absolutely.
4 seed
Right.
or going somewhere and
Yeah.
getting a 2. So
Essentially hosting 2 games
right.
at 1
Yep.
seed.
So I mean, this is a big game for Salisal. Same with Ada. Ada could be anywhere from 1 to 3
Mhm.
based on the scenario. They win tonight, then with a couple things happening, they're in, right? So
Right.
so as far as Ada, I mean, they're both in a situation where you want to win your district because you want to play the 4 seed in that first round and then be able to host that next one. So it's an important game for both of them. Mr. Hackler.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing you guys are talking. I think Ada definitely passes the eye test. I think talent-wise, size, things like that. But Salsal being at home, and their coaching staff does a great job. So I think that one's going to be a really really good game. That also affects. We won't go into details yet on scenarios, but that has a lot of effect if we can knock off Broken Bow as far as where we'll be seated as well. So
Definitely.
we'll be watching Squirtle on multiple games tonight for sure.
Yes.
And just how it affects us. So
No, definitely. So we go on to Stillwell and Glenpool. There's the game that has no district implications I talked about earlier, but what do you think about that game, Carson?
I think it's gonna be a tough game. Hard fought, but I think Stillwell is gonna like. I think they're gonna focus a lot more on running. Like I feel like when they played us, that was like. I feel like that's what they did really well, is run. And I don't have a whole lot to say about Glenpool.
Yeah.
Glenpool's had some close games.
Mhm.
They've played some people close, and
Mhm.
you can tell they're getting better. But like I said, it's going to be a tough game, and we all want Coach Warner to get that dub, and so hopefully they come to play. If the Stillwell team that came here shows up, I don't
Right.
think Glenpool has a chance.
Yeah.
But if they catch them the other 5, 6, 7 weeks of how Stillwell's played, I think
Right.
Glenpool should be able to walk through this. So
Yeah, and it depends on Stillwell if they're in basketball mode or not, because 2 or 3 of their studs are also their basketball studs by far. So it's kind of depends on where their headspace is tonight. Is I think will be the outcome of that game. It's almost just kind of a pick 'em.
And we played them early on, so they were still.
Yeah,
It was
everything in
that
front of 'em.
honeymoon, new coaching staff. He's
Right.
trying to get them to believe, and all new, turf facilities, all that. And then now you're pretty much getting the same result you always have, but they are definitely better.
Yes.
Right.
As far as record wise, so that would be a big thing too. And it's always hard with Glenpool. Like you're trying to get that first one and get those kids to really believe you can, because they've lost some close ones. So
Right.
now they've got to get over that hump of, hey, we can close this one out. So hopefully Glenpool can do that and be a good game.
I feel like Glenpool has the advantage when it comes to the mentality, just because we don't want to go 0-10. We have a chance to get a dub.
Yep.
Salisal has a win. Salisal knows they're out. It's kind of like, let's just get
Stillwell.
Stillwell. Stillwell knows they're out. Let's just go ahead and get out of here. Let's get this over with so we move
yeah.
on to basketball,
Yep.
like you said. So, all right, that takes us to our featured kick of the game or kick of the night, and we've got Mikkel getting ready to kick a field goal for a $50 Brahms card, brought to you by Mitchell Reynolds.
We're live here for our kickoff challenge. We got Mikkel with us, and Mikkel's about to kick his field goal for $50 from Brahms. So, Brahms, what's your favorite food at Brahms?
Probably just a good junior cheeseburger.
Junior cheeseburger. What about ice cream?
You ain't man enough to eat it like a real double cheese, double meat? What?
I can't finish those.
Coach Hall says you got to put some weight on. So,
I think my favorite ice cream would probably be peanut cluster fudge. But.
oh, a little peanut cluster fudge. All right. All right, so he's going for a 20-yard field goal for $50. This is sponsored by Mitchell Reynolds. So here we go. It's up to you right here.
There we go. Now
Right here, one more.
One more. Oh, I was trying to make it difficult on you. All right, now if you kick my hand, that's ADC.
All right, deal.
All right, here we go now.
So wait, timeout before you kick. You know, last soccer player we had missed it right and wouldn't have made it 5 yards. Are you better than him?
Probably, yeah.
All right, because Coach Hall was going to cut him in soccer because of it. So there's a cut possibility here.
You want it angled any which way?
All right, so here we go.
Okay.
All right, so for a $50 gift card, Mikkel, it's your time. Here we go.
It's good!
It's good! Yay! Hey, our winner of $50 gift card from Brahms, Mikkel. Thank you for joining Poto Network. We'll be right back with you.
Go Pirates.
Hey, how exciting. We just got to see Mikkel make a field goal for $50. As I said earlier, we had smoked it without question, and had a soccer player last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess, did not smoke it. So he a little redemption for the soccer program and Coach Hayes, and actually Coach Hayes was able to be out there and watch him.
Yeah, he
so,
had to coach him up this time.
Yeah, there's a little
Coach Hall.
or
Oh,
Coach
Coach
Hayes,
Hall.
Coach Hall. Man, I am all mixed up today. But Coach Hall was out there, and so able to support him. But congrats to Mikkel, and thank you, Mitchell Reynolds, for sponsoring that $50 kick. So now we go to last week's picks. All right, this is where I take my lashings. I get it. I took some underdogs and went 2-4. Mr. Ballard went 5-1. Mr. Hack went 5-1. Right now, Mr. Ballard's leading me by 1 game. We'll make sure that we get that fixed before the finals. But let's go ahead and go on to we can talk about Cohen. Cohen's 12-10, barely 500. So
and I've only done it 2 weeks, or I'd be up there. Just
yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, as we get into this week's predictions, let's start with Hilldale McLean. Mr. Hack, what do you got there?
Like we talked about, I think this is it's a huge game for Hilldale, obviously, and us. The hope in me, I'm hoping McLean shows up and maybe senior night, those kids want to go out with a win. I have my second guessing on that, but I think I'm going to have to go with Hilldale on this. As far as pick, I just don't see McLean. I think they've moved on, and now that they know they're not going to make the playoffs, I think Hilldale's going to win that 42-21.
42-20. I'm looking at your sheet there, and you didn't have that one circled, so you were hoping and teeter-tottering back and forth, trying to hold out. And I agree with you. I think Hilldale will be just too much for McLean in the situation, so I have Hilldale winning that.
I'm hoping for McLean. but I got to pick Hilldale just to beat you.
I know.
Right.
We all want to vote for
Yes,
McLean, but we're all
yes,
competitors, and we don't want to
yes.
lose on the pick 'em.
Yes.
So,
I think the momentum from last week's game for Hilldale is just gonna bring them to victory. So I got Hilldale too.
all right. So that takes us to Ada at Salisal. And as we talked about earlier, this is a huge game for both teams because both teams have the opportunity to be a 1 seed depending on what happens. So, Carson, I'll let you start on this one.
I think Salisal is gonna have to play a really good game. Stop Ada's offense. So I really want Salisal to win this one. As much as I hate to say that, I just like rots my mouth. I hate Salisal so much. But I got Salisal.
Salisal. Mr. Hack?
This is a tough one, but I think Salsa at home is going to keep this close. But I think Ada is going to end up pulling it out. Maybe a 10-point win, something like 31-21, something like that.
So Mr. Hack has Ada. Carson has Salisal. Mr. Ballard?
I'm going to go with Ada. We need Ada to win anyways.
Mhm.
If Ada wins and we get a win, that puts us at 2 seed. So I'm going to go with Ada.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you guys other than Carson. I think Salisal wins this because it's home field advantage. We know what happens on home field advantage in important games. We were there last year. We know that Salisal is going to come to play, and there may be some technical difficulties or whatever. So I'm going with Salisal to win this. Plus, I need to make up a game, so I got to go opposite of what you do.
I
So
figured that was a little
that takes us to Stillwell Glenpool. I'll make this pick. I'm going Glenpool. Mr. Bowder wanted me to go first on a couple, so
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Glenpool. I believe they're going to win this game. I believe Coach Werner is going to get his first dub of the year. So
I'm going to go Glenpool.
Glenpool. Carson?
I want Glenpool to win, but Stillwell, I think.
Going Stillwell. All right. So Carson's going Stillwell.
I'm going Glenpool. I think
All
they'll
right.
get the first one.
So we got 3 Glenpools, 1 Stillwell. All right. So that takes us to our college pick'em. We got number 8 BYU at number 9 Texas Tech. I'm going Texas Tech at home. I feel like it's an upset according to rankings, but I really still feel Texas Tech's a better team. So
I think the home field advantage, this is huge in this one because I think they're pretty even. I really do. BYU's, the last couple of years, they've kind of came out of nowhere. They've been really
Undefeated,
good.
baby.
Texas Tech, they're paying for those wins and they're getting them. So I think the Red Raiders are gonna beat BYU.
I'm going to go with the $28 billion team in Texas Tech and see if they throw little tortillas out and get that fine. But, yep, I got Tech at home.
I got Tech as well.
all right. So that takes us to number 2 Indiana versus Penn State at Penn State. What do you got, Mr. Ballard?
I'm going to go Indiana. Still upset alert there. Penn State still got the talent. Coach Franklin got the can, but Indiana's they've been salty and stout all year, so I'm gonna go with Indiana.
Are we talking about basketball?
Exactly.
Indiana
Right.
number 2. Are you
Indiana,
kidding me?
Coach
yes.
Nightback, Bobby
no,
Nightback,
kid
coaching.
throwing chairs on the sideline.
Yeah,
It's crazy to see, but Indiana, man, he
They're a real
has
deal.
done an
That quarterback,
unbelievable
they're
job.
talking about him
Scary.
going number 1 overall.
Yeah.
I mean, 6'5", 6'6",
That
or whatever,
coach,
220
I mean,
pounds.
to turn a program that quick, I mean, they've been the laughing stock of the Big Ten for a
Yep.
long time. Like, so the job he's done is unbelievable. Penn State, like you said, they still have a ton of talent, but man, I don't think they'll put up much of a fight at Indiana on this one.
I'm taking Penn State. I think they're going to show up, have an upset at Penn State,
Is that
and
what you really believe?
no, I
You just-
truly do
just wanna
believe.
beat me.
No, I truly do believe Penn State's going to win this game.
I might have to disagree with you on that one, Coach. I got
Right.
Indiana.
Indiana. All right, let's take number 3 Texas A&M at number 19 Missouri. I'm going Mizzou. I'm a Tiger fan.
Imagine that.
And so I've got to go with them. I think the upset's going to happen. It's going to help us get to where we need to be in the rankings. So I'm going number 19 Missouri.
Now, Missouri's in Columbia, not Nevada, where you're from.
I know. Thank
know.
goodness, because actually Nevada's really good in high school football. But
Okay, got you.
I think at home, I think Missouri wins this game. What do you think, Mr. Ballard?
I got A&M. They're just they're legit finally, and I know everybody's they got that little person on their shoulder like no, they're going to fall apart, but I think Elko's doing a good job down there, and he's got them going the right direction. So I got A&M.
Carson?
I got both Texas teams on this one. I'm going to have to go A&M.
Wait.
I'm gonna agree. I've got to go A&M on this one.
Uh,
Even though I do think Missouri will keep it close. They play well at home. But I
Want
think
their third string quarterback? They're
Nope.
gonna be sitting up their water
Play-
bottle for too long.
Sometimes you got to win with your backup quarterbacks.
Yes.
Third string.
So, all right, that takes us to our feature game. We've got Broken Bow at Poto. As we've been talking about, this is a huge game for both teams. You know, Broken Bow trying to get that 1 seed, and they have 2 scenarios where they can. So, like I said, it's going to be a tough game. I believe Poto is going to win this game. I think it's going to be close, but I do feel Poto is going to win it.
Yep, I agree with you. I don't care who's playing, who's not playing, personnel-wise, for either team. Poto has that culture, and it's ingrained in them since Little League football here. They're going to come out swinging, and there's no telling what kind of tricks Coach Hayes is going to pull out. We got to have it. So I'm going to go Poto by a missed extra PAT.
There we
By
go.
1, baby.
And
All right, we're cutting close on time for our commercials. So, Mr. Hack, what do you think?
I'm not going to bet against these seniors on senior night.
That's
I
right.
think they're going to want to go out with a bang and go to the playoffs one more year for however many straight we've had. I think it's going to be a really close game. He's tough. That quarterback's tough.
He's good.
He is.
But I think we'll be ready.
I got Poto with the dub.
Poto with the dub.
Uh-huh.
All right, so that's the end of our Poto Pirate Network High School Game Day. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be back with you next week as we start talking about playoff time for our Poto Pirates. Have a great day.
Go Pirates.